It's like nothing many of us have ever experienced before. Untouched, pristine, majestic geography, untraveled by most. It is now piquing the curiosity of the adventurous vacationer from all over the globe. The poles have become a hot destination. In fact, many consider the top and bottom of the world to be the next frontier of travel. Norway's Ada Lidahl and Sweden's Martin Enkel co-founded Nansen Polar Expeditions. They also act as expedition leaders, helping more people discover what they have.
Generally, people's first reaction when they arrive to the polar regions is the sheer beauty. And they also find it very peaceful and calming. And of course, here in the Arctic, they are very excited to see all the different wildlife.
No, well, we call it the Arctic bug. When you have been there once, you know immediately, already on the plane on your way back, you need to go back one time.
It's a very real thing, this Arctic bug. Simsbury's Anna Zuckerman-Duvenko says if she can catch it, anyone can. And it can be extreme.
Being that close to these giant animals, it takes you out of your comfort zone. But then when you see them looking at you and curious about you, you feel a connection that you never thought was possible.
An Arctic expedition is a unique adventure in so many ways.
There's a magic in the polar regions that everyone feels once they get there, and it's almost like an elation.
Anna has now made countless trips. She met her husband at the North Pole, and now she works with Nansen, helping others discover what she's come to love.
The summertime of Connecticut, the place to be would be the Arctic, because the Arctic has 24 hours of daylight right now. And it's warmer there because it's the Arctic summer.
Auden understands the impact it's had on Anna and so many others like her. He began his career on his home island of Smola, guiding bird watchers to see magnificent white-tailed eagles.
What's always been driving me is like to colder regions, especially the white. I like the pristine white colors when there is snow. Of course, going to Africa or other places is stunning, but for me it's always been going to these places.
He's become a world-renowned, award-winning photographer, recently awarded honors by Prince Albert in Monaco. And his favorite subject? Polar wildlife. What goes into trying to capture them?
Yeah, for me, it's photography is the passion that led me into these areas. So for me, it's all about telling a story with a picture.
Martin started working on nuclear icebreakers in the early 2000s and later became a polar dive master. He's guided for film and TV crews and stresses when it comes to choosing this type of travel for a vacation, don't expect it to be typical.
We are quite active in the way of searching for wildlife each day. And normally we go out after breakfast on either a hike or a Zodiac cruise in the rubber boats that we have with us.
Now 2 vessels strong, the Villa and Nansen Explorer host guests regularly for chartered trips and scheduled excursions. Demand is off the charts. It's not hard to understand why.
It's still popular to go places that people don't normally go to.
Polar expeditions are part of Connecticut's maritime history. Take the Palmer brothers, for example.
Well, the Palmer brothers are descendants of one of the founding families in Stonington. So they were at sea at early ages.
But eventually an expedition took them south to the bottom of the earth, where lo and behold, they found new land.
Notified the American Philosophical Society. They wrote news articles and things. They had a pretty good PR machine.
Hard to imagine the former owners of this home had that on their resume. Once the Palmer's sailing days were over, they reinvented themselves as ship designers and builders. Their accomplishments profound, game changers in their time. The Palmer Station in Antarctica, named after them, is just one of the legacies left behind by these Connecticut maritime explorers.
We have people that work in Antarctica, that work at Palmer Station, who have always heard the story of Nathaniel Palmer and come here to see where he lived.
If an expedition to one of the poles is now tempting your wanderlust, Anna, Auden, and Martin wouldn't be surprised at all. Seeing polar bears, seals, whales, and penguins in their natural habitats is awe-inspiring. Those who've taken these trips say it leaves them with a greater sense of responsibility to the planet, a greater sense of purpose in their lives.
And it helps you appreciate your own position in the whole universe, so to speak.